What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. Fever. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's so much pride from that. He's a man. They can be his just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm telling you, step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had no work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Fever. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Oh, no, game is not over. It's just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and all new 92.3 FM, streaming live, kyokradio.org. I hope everyone had a blessed time yesterday with your friends, family, loved ones, or by yourself if that's how you get down. You know where I was. I was right here in the studio getting it in on Thanksgiving Day. That's what we call it. But anyway, got a special one lined up for you today, Freestyle Friday. Going to talk some football, a lot of it yesterday, with the Lions remaining winless, I should say. I almost said undefeated. Man, I hope that's prophetic for Lions fans. I hope that's prophetic for them one day, but today ain't the day. And then we got to talk about that Cowboys game. Longhorn Keith, I know you watching your UT Longhorns losing right now 14-13 with 9:25 left in the half. They're losing to Kansas State 14-13. Losers of 6 in a row. Could be 7 in a row if they drop this one. But anyway, Longhorn Keith, I need to know, y'all still them boys? Are y'all still them boys? Somebody call and check on them. You know, they say, they got that song, ain't nobody called to check on me. We still them boys. Yeah, I'm calling to check on y'all. I told my microphone brother, JJ Williams from the legendary KYOK, I'm sorry, from the legendary KWWJ, our flagship station, I was going to stir those Cowboy fans up. Ain't heard from y'all in a couple of weeks. Where y'all at? Y'all lost a few, and now we can't hear from can't call nobody. Come on, Cowboy fans. Don't be like that now. That's why I said these Cowboy fans are different. Cowboy Craig, these Cowboy fans are different than the Cowboy fans of old. Cowboy fans of old will literally be trying to convince us that they still undefeated even after yesterday's loss. See if this hadn't happened, and then if that hadn't happened, man, but don't worry about it, because we still like they're going to run the table for the rest of the century. These new Cowboy fans, they get quiet. They start talking about basketball, hockey, tennis. If you are a Cowboy fan, I need to hear from you today. 281-453-1000. The phone lines are wide open. I'm going to unblock them. I'm going to unlock them. There ain't nothing blinking. 281-453-1000. If you still them boys, show me. Show me. Dak Prescott tried to do his thing yesterday, but I'm going to tell you, man, I am going to tell you who I'm not impressed with right now, and y'all going to be mad at me for saying this because, well respected around the league. I ain't impressed with Kellen Moore. I'm not impressed with Kellen Moore. Dude, you are down your top 2 wide receivers. You got 2 of the top running backs in the league. Maybe not statistically, but both of them can ball. And you end up throwing the ball almost 50 times? Bruh, the ball. Run the ball. Commit to the run. Oh, but AJ, Zeke wasn't doing his thing and da-da-da-da-da, so you can't run it when he ain't doing his thing. Man, if y'all haven't learned by now that Ezekiel Elliott gets stronger as the game goes on, what have y'all been doing with this guy for the last, 5, 6? What year is he in? 6 years? What have y'all been doing? I don't get it. I don't get it. You got a couple of offensive coordinators out there that just really want to seem innovative and seem creative. And at the end of the game, it's first downs, defensively getting off the field on third down. Special teams don't put your team in a hole. Fundamentally, the game hadn't changed. I don't care about all the analytics. I don't care about all the fancy razzle-dazzles. Don't get me wrong now. I'm not trying to go back to that Bill O'Brien archaic offense that he used to run back when he was calling play. I'm not trying to go back to that. Keith Hennig, hey, AJ, Zeke fumbles. Does he? Does he? I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, then give it to Pollard then. I got to send the rest of this message. Got to shout out to my guy, Garrett Jones, GJ for GM. He's still doing great things. Let's see. Let me do this, and then I got to get to the there it is. Okay, here we go. Let me get back to this this nonsense from yesterday. Yesterday's nonsense. All right. Let's go. Boom. Cowboys, Raiders, box score, rushing. 20 carries, 64 yards, 3.2 yards a carry, 1 touchdown. And Ezekiel Elliott got that. So you got 19 touches between your 2 running backs. 10 for Pollard, 9 for Elliott, 36 yards for Pollard, 25 for Elliott. Get a ball to Pollard. Give Pollard 15, 16 touches if he's the hot hand. Elliott's got to have more touches than 9 touches out of the backfield. Now, they threw the ball to him 6 times, but come on, man. I just feel like some of these offensive coordinators are in love with throwing the ball. In love with it. Got to do it. Got to do it. Dak threw the ball 47 times. Completed 32 of them for 375, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That 3 and out to start the overtime period was ugly. And the penalties were just, that. Cowboys, Raiders, 28 penalties. 28 penalties. For a total of, hold on, 276 yards and penalties. Cowboys franchise record, 166. Run the ball. Run the ball. Cowboy fans, y'all ain't for real. Cowboy fans, I don't want to hear we still them boys no more. If y'all don't call me today, I don't want to hear we still them boys no more. And don't give me I didn't hear it. I should call Longhorn Keith. I should call him on his own phone in the middle of his day. He might be out there. Are they playing at UT? He might be in the middle of that stadium. The coach, Johnny Cole, gave me some love. Y'all better leave me alone, man. This dude finna make me feel like I am somebody. He said, happy Thanksgiving, my friend, Alabama State, named former Houston Oiler linebacker Eddie Robinson Jr., also alum of Alabama State head football coach. Ain't never coached. It done begun. It done begun. Coach Cole, I'm finna send you the number. You got to call me. We got to have an impromptu HBCU stroll. Let me send him this number. Let's see. Call. No, I'm trying to. Y'all bear with me now. This is live radio, but I gotta take care of this. Call me on 281-453-1000. Wait, I messed something up. Okay, there we go. Please. Coach Cole, please call me. Please. I can't believe what is it? Here we go. It done begun. All right. I gotta take a break. I'll be right back. Hopefully I'll have Coach Cole and we'll take an impromptu HBCU stroll in a minute, right here on the lunch break.
If you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt, then listen up. We can reduce or eliminate your interest rates. Cut your monthly payment up to 50% and stop all late fees. Our company has been helping good people just like you get out of debt for over 30 years. Don't get stressed out. If you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt and medical bills, we can show you a way to reduce all of your bills to one lower monthly payment that you can afford. So again, if you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt and medical bills you can't afford, make this free call today and learn how you can finally get out of debt. Call now for your free consultation. 800-638-7112. 800-638-7112. 800-638-7112. That's 800-638-7112. Sponsored by Credit Card.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, weekend, month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
Have to get the people.
Give people what they want. I'm Ben Tankett, and you are listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, man. May rest in power. DMX said what they really want from us. What they really want from us. I need to understand. Let me go to the phone line right now. We've got the legendary coach Johnny Cole. He and I take the HBCU stroll every Monday here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. And he just dropped some news on us that Alabama State has named former Houston Oilers linebacker Eddie Robinson Jr., an alum of Alabama State, head football coach, and he has never coached before. Coach Cole.
Yes, sir.
First of all, happy holiday to you, man.
Man, same to you. Same to you.
How your mama, man? Everybody doing all right?
Yeah, everything's great. Just cold up here, extremely cold.
Yeah,
37 degrees.
I don't miss that, bro. I don't miss that at all. Now, you up in Dayton, you up in Louisville?
I'm up in Dayton, Ohio.
Yep, just north of my hometown, Forest Park, Ohio. Yeah, about 30 minutes.
Right.
Yeah,
You know, I grew up in this kind of weather. It's just this time of year. You know, Thanksgiving is always nice and brisk. You know, it gives you that fall, winter feel, you know.
Yeah, but Coach Cole, my blood has thinned, man. I get up there, it's 60 degrees. I'm freezing. I'm wrapped up, bro. I get up there, it's 60, man. They taking off clothes. I'm putting what they took off, I'm putting it on.
Oh, ain't no question, Coach. Ain't no question. Now I'm not used to it no more. You know, I left at 17 years old, of course, and went down to Houston, Texas Southern. So, yeah, I've gotten away from having that thick blood myself.
Yeah, I'll never forget. My high school played against Sycamore High School, and bro, it was cold, it was raining, and I was on the sideline, and man, I just felt like my life was over, bro. I was like, it's got to be better than this.
Yeah, well, shoot, man, I used to walk to school, and you know how the snow would get down into your shoes and form balls, just rub up against your Achilles. I hated it. Or when you got home, you lost your keys, You couldn't get in the house. You had to wait till your other family members show up. Yeah, I remember those days. What I always say is, heat just makes you uncomfortable, but cold hurts.
Yeah,
So I'd
yeah.
rather be uncomfortable than feeling pain.
You're right about that. You're right about that. Now, Coach Cole, I mean, it's begun. It's begun, and I'm not knocking it. Let me just say this for those who think I'm a hater of Coach Deion Sanders and Coach I'm Eddie George up there at Tennessee State. I'm not. I'm not a hater of them. But now you've got programs that are literally trying to go out and just find former NFL players that are or are not even alumni and bring them in so that they could try to duplicate what they're seeing happen at Jackson State and Tennessee State.
Right, without a doubt. I mean, and I'm not either. I know Eddie Robinson Jr. as a personal friend of mine. He's a good man, good dude, good dude. I'm not knocking that, but then I got to put on my other hat that I am a college football coach who's done it the right way, and I'm not just speaking for myself because I'm at the end of my career. I'm speaking for the other kids that choose to go to black colleges and do it the right way. And then now, we're not providing jobs for them. We'll continue to go outside and give jobs to guys that don't. It ain't no different than you driving the car and somebody jumps in front of your lane. You sitting there in a lane and somebody ride up the side and jump in. Or you sitting up at a store about to buy, somebody come in and jump in front of you. It's the same feeling, but hey, the university's got the way they want to do things, and you just got to live with it.
Yeah, that's true. I got Coach Johnny Cole joining me here on Freestyle Friday. Coach, let me ask you a question. So, Coach Robinson Jr. has never coached before. What was it like when you coached your very first college football game as the head coach? Because everybody had a point in time when they had never coached before. What was that very first game like for you?
Well, see, the difference between, me being a head coach for the first time and him is I did it the right way. So I knew what to expect. I knew how to prepare my kids. I knew, the first thing, of course, is trying to put together a great staff, which I thought I'd done, and then went out and then recruited. And in the meantime, in between time, making sure your field is right, doing all the legwork, making sure the kids going to school and going to class. And, when you take over programs, you come in with your own philosophy. And mine is more of a strict philosophy on what I want them to do and how I want them to do it. So you got all that going through your mind, of getting to that first game. But you got to understand, right now, that first year, I'm in a rebuilding year. Everybody got to toot to the horn because you get that window the first time coming in there, and you're going to lose some players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to find some players. But as a coach, are you willing to do that? Are you going to let the prisoners run the prison, or you going to run? Because, you want to win some games. Everybody think that oh, man, I'm the difference maker. But to me, my first game, I wasn't concerned with that. I was more concerned that we prepared all the way up to how we got on the bus. He was shaved, they had their belts on. All that was leading up to the game.
Yeah. Coach Johnny Cole joining me here on the lunch break on the legendary KYK. The question is, what is it like when you're a head coach for the first time coaching a college football team? So you already had in mind all those things that most folks don't even think about. How you're going to prepare, how you're going to board the bus, how you're going to carry yourself, what you're going to do for your players on and off the field, in the classroom, and those kind of things.
Oh, yeah. Needed all the way up to the game. Eligibility. You got eligibility meetings that week, to making sure that you got your kids eligible, that you ain't been practicing the kids from August to the first game of the year. The next day, they get your eligibility sheet and you ain't even on that. You got to be able to keep up with that. So, it's a whole lot for a guy who's never stepped in that seat before, to go about, because during your course of starting off as a coach, you've seen all these things happen when you don't left the game ball. You know what I mean? You don't left the camper. 2 or 3 players don't left their bag somewhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So as a coach, you got to know, as you and the equipment manager, we need 2 or 3 dummy bags. Dummy bags means a large helmet.
Yep.
The next dummy bag is a small helmet. You know what I mean? You got to know about the black box, and that's with the cameras and stuff set up here.
Right.
So it's so much, you got to make sure that, the bus is showing up on time. Then you got to make sure the hours in between how time to get there, what we're going to do, have contact with people, where we're going to practice at. So it's much. We ain't even talked about the X's.
Right. I was just going to say, we're about 8 points in, and we haven't gotten to an X or an O yet.
Exactly. And you got to coach your coaches. How you want them? Because a lot of times, the coaches sit back and let the head coach run everything. And I never would, I'm a delegator. You know what I'm saying? So you got to coach them. And the biggest thing, you got to have a game ready practice that Thursday. Actually, have them coming from the cafeteria after eating, coming to the locker room. This is how we're going to warm up when we get to where we're going. And you got to rehearse that, too, from all the way to, okay, now, I'm the coach. We finished warmed up. I'm walking out. This is what we're going to do. Let's practice.
So Coach Johnny Cole joining us here on the HBCU Stroll. We're talking about coaches. Alabama State has named former Houston Oilers linebacker Eddie Robinson Jr. as their new head coach. He has never coached before. Is it a case, Coach, where people who have played will try to emulate what they experienced when they were playing, how other head coaches handled their practice and their preparation and their travel and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, some players and very few players get it as they players to see the whole picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
All they know is about what they're supposed to do and where they're supposed to go. When I was a player, I actually paid attention to all the details. From I remember when I flew in, my first time coming into Texas Southern, they had bands and stuff waiting on us. I thought that coach that I played up underneath was very organized. When we got to the dormitory, our dormitories was ready, with our names on them. I remember when I went to Jerry Jones quarterback school, and the first day I showed up in Dallas on Cowboy Street 1, I think, got there, and they actually had my name on the locker and my stuff, my sizes and everything sitting there, my shoes. I was like, wow. I remember the time we went down to play Florida A&M, we actually went over to Florida State and seen Deion Sanders. They still got his locker, sitting in his locker with the shoes and the helmet that he wore. And I thought that was cool, And then when we walked to the locker room, they were just doing the day. It was immaculate. It was clean.
Mm-hmm.
And talking to the equipment manager, they called it equipment ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you learn those things on the way up, and you pick up things of man, if I get that job, this is what I want.
Right. No, I got you. I got you.
And all that got to do with winning.
Yeah.
Especially at HBCU schools.
Yep. Yeah.
Because they don't come from, some of them don't come from good high school programs.
Right.
Some of them do. And you got to make them understand, you got to clean your locker room up. It's a certain way. I remember, going to another LSU when Nick Saban's there. My brother coached under Nick Saban. You go in, they had how you design your locker. When you come out of practice, you got your helmet here, and you put this here. And I mean, everybody's stuff was the same. Now the guy's helmet on the right, but he's supposed to be on the left.
Mm-hmm.
All they got to do is win. And some coaches don't think that's important.
When in reality, it really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
It makes your kids focus. It gives them guide. They don't, they know this is what it is. So when they'll carry that same attitude on the football field.
Yeah.
This is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do. And if I don't do it, I'm not going to be out there.
Yeah. Coach Cole, Johnny Cole, on the phone line with me. Of course, he is my co-host with the HBCU Stroll that we do every Monday. Wanted to get him in now that Alabama State has named former Houston Oilers linebacker Eddie Robinson Jr. as their new head coach. Coach, you have a unique skill set of turning historically bad programs around. You've been able to win in places where other people can't and other people haven't after you left. What is your secret sauce to be able to do that, if you don't mind sharing?
I need a 4-year deal and about $200,000.
Coach Cole, so give me 4 years and about 200 GER. I'll get her done. I'll get her done.
I'll just say one thing. I'll make sure that the players understand that I care about the person underneath the helmet. Because I was underneath that helmet, and I know it's just for a few years. And the thing about me is, when you come to college, you should be being taught to be a professional. There's only 20% of Americans educated, and you go there for 4 or 5 years and you play football, you got to be able to lead with something.
Yeah.
So if you take my ingredient, which when you come into my program and you stay with it and you stay precise on what, you get that degree at the end of your 4 or 5 years, then you'll see that it was worth it.
Yeah.
Along with a couple of championships.
That's the part, Coach. You graduate your players and you bring in that hardware. So listen, I know it's just a matter of time before we're making the announcement that such and such school has announced or named Coach Johnny Cole as their new head coach. So listen, we'll be talking to you again on Monday. You and I will be talking before then. But I appreciate you calling in with this news, with this update, and we'll see what happens next.
Yeah. Like I said, Eddie Robinson Jr. is a good man, a good person. I wish him well. Of course, on the flip side of that, you jumped on, and you're on the clock.
Yeah.
And everybody's gonna be watching. And if you're having success like Deion Sanders is having, all it is good for the conference. It's good for Alabama State. But if not, it's going to set you back more than 2 or 3 times or 2 or 3 more years.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out.
Yeah. Coach, again, we appreciate the time. Tell everybody where they can find you and follow you on social media.
I'm at Twitter, Johnny Cole, Hobo Big Play, and Facebook, of course, under my name. And anytime, 334-318-1141.
Coach, we appreciate you as always. Can't wait to talk to you and see you again on Monday, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right, Coach, give the family my love for me, please.
Good, man. And get another place that good turkey. We had deep fried turkey, so I don't know, you still traditional?
No, Coach, I'm a pescatarian, so I did it very non-traditional.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You ate sausage. You ate sausages and cabbage.
You know what? I had a Beyond Burger that somebody made like a Salisbury steak with a whole bunch of good sides and good dessert.
Well, I'm pretty sure you enjoy it. Take care. Always thank you. You're a Superman and super person.
Oh, Coach, I appreciate you. I mean it. And you know the feeling is real.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right, Coach. Talk to you soon. Bye. All right. That's head coach Johnny Cole, formerly with Texas Southern. And again, breaking the news that Alabama State has named former Houston Oilers linebacker Eddie Robinson Jr., also an alum of Alabama State, as their new head coach. So we'll see how that works out. A couple of jobs still open. The Grambling job is still open. And in some other conferences, we know Lincoln is open. We know Clark, Atlanta, Elizabeth City is open. Elizabeth State is open. So, again, we'll be keeping an eye on those situations. But, again, no shade at these people. No shade at these coaches. Obviously that's a dream come true for them. Obviously, it was a dream come true for Coach Deion Sanders, and same thing for Coach Eddie George. I was talking with someone yesterday after the show, and they were talking about the impact that Coach Sanders has had on Jackson State, and then he started talking about the TCU thing, and it was like, hey, I don't have factual information. I don't know the details, but I would not be surprised if Coach Deion Sanders listened to TCU to hear what they were offering and decided to stay where he was at Jackson State. But I will say this. I believe that if the Florida State job comes open, the Florida State University job comes open, I believe Coach Primetime would give that one serious consideration. Not anything negative about the HBCU, but for Coach Prime, that one's personal. That's where he became Primetime as we know him today. And I believe that one will be a tough decision for him to make. And to all the HBCU alum and fans and all of that, all of the Jackson State faithful, no shade at you or your program, not minimizing any of that, but that opportunity would be personal for Coach Sanders. And I wouldn't be surprised if he took it. Not saying he would leave Jackson State, with the rug pulled out from under them or in a lurch or anything like that, saying that that's one of those dream once-in-a-lifetime jobs, opportunities where he is an alum getting a chance to lead his former school, alma mater, back to prominence, like when he was there. I believe that's the one job. Coach Eddie George. I respectfully put coach in front of their names. I know I got colleagues who feel like he ain't my coach, so I'll call him by his first name. That's you, me, Coach Eddie George. If the Ohio State University opens up, I know he loves Tennessee State. Ryan Day ain't going nowhere no time soon. Coach Ryan Day is not going anywhere anytime soon. But if the Ohio State University opens up, it's not him choosing a PWI over an HBCU. That one's just personal. That's just personal. Chance to lead the school where he was able to become great in college. The Ohio State never had a black head coach. He could be the first one to lead his alma mater, keep them in prominence. I believe he would take that. I don't know. And again, no shade at the HBCUs, because my love is for the HBCUs. Boy, if I had to do it all over again, I'd run straight to one or two. I keep joking, but I'm serious. I am tempted to take classes online so I can honor what I love the most. So, just my thoughts. I'm curious to hear yours. 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000 if you want to get in, or you can text me 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. A lot of good football still to be played. UT down 17-16 at half to Kansas State. At the half, UT trails Kansas State 17-16. Going to be some great football tomorrow. The Bayou Classic tomorrow. Grambling, Southern, live from New Orleans, in the Dome. We'll see how that one goes down. Also, you got Prairie View and Valley tomorrow. And then Prairie View from there will go on to take on Jackson State in the SWAC championship game. You got FAMU in Southeast Louisiana tomorrow. Last night, Alabama State beat Tuskegee. I predicted that one, 43-9. Tuskegee has an opening for a head coach. Their head coach was the coach and the athletic director, and he's been relieved of his duties. So we'll see who they name as their next head coach to lead those fine folks down there at Tuskegee back to prominence. So there you go. All right. I was talking about the Cowboys and them just running the ball. Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator, his name hadn't been mentioned a whole lot. Everything is Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Micah Parsons, the wide receivers. That's Jerry Jones, of course. But we're not hearing Kellen Moore's name enough. I'm talking about on the good and the bad. Got to run the ball. Has to be able to run the ball. And didn't do it. Not committed to it. 20 carries, AJ. You got two running backs who have the ability to set the tempo for the game. Right? You got to take what the defense gives you. You played right into their hands. And by the way, you were shooting yourself in the proverbial foot with all the penalties. Run the ball. Run the ball. Run the ball. Give your playmakers touches so that they can make plays. Cowboys lost 36-33 in overtime. And let me see. Hold on. Coming back. Cowboys have now lost 3 out of the last 4. Have now lost 3 out of the last 4, 2 in a row. Lost to the Broncos at 30-16 beatdown. Beat the Falcons 43-3. Lost 19-9 to the Chiefs, and now 36-33 in overtime to the Raiders. And they've got the Saints next. After what I saw in New Orleans last night, I think the Cowboys will be fine. I think the Cowboys will be just fine. I think New Orleans is in trouble. I really do. And again, Trevor Siemian is a professional NFL quarterback. So let me not trash him like, oh, he's trash, he's garbage. Not saying that. But what I noticed about Trevor Siemian yesterday was he didn't just have incompletions. He had bad throws. Where the ball was just simply not catchable. Or it was catchable, but he didn't put the receiver in a position to catch it and possess it. And then there were a couple of times where he left his receivers out there to get destroyed after they made the catch. Trevor Siemian had bad throws last night. I'm not saying Jameis Winston has great throws or, guys like Tom Brady and them, they make perfect passes every time out, but they have fewer bad throws than Trevor Siemian had last night. And I kept looking at it. It's like, man, okay, that's an incompletion. But that's a bad throw. There's a difference. A lot of things can happen on incomplete. It can hit a player's hands and he can't bring it in, or it could be over his head, or it could be, somebody knocked him off his route. But there were some bad throws where there was just had no chance. And if the Saints don't have Kamara and don't have, Ingram, then they got to live and die by Trevor Siemian's bad throws. Jameis is not coming back, and obviously Taysom Hill is where he is. I'll say it again, backup quarterbacks matter. All right, I got to take a break, but when I come back, I've got to finish a thought that I did not finish yesterday, and one of our callers was nice enough to remind me. I will do that next, right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's AJ Jones with the lunch break on the legendary KYOK AM 1140 at 92.3 FM. It's that time of year when we are reminded of all the things we should be thankful for, and that it's more blessed to give than to receive. So with that in mind, on Wednesdays from now through Christmas, we'll give you a chance to win a gift certificate from Butterball. That's right, you can win a gift certificate for a Butterball turkey on Wednesdays on the lunch break between 12 and 2. Just be the right caller, and your Butterball turkey will be on us at the legendary KYOK AM 1140 at 92.3.
Well, I hope you are enjoying your weekend. Hey, everybody, it's Erica Campbell.
And I'm Griff from Get Up Mornings.
We want to thank you so much for rocking with us every weekday morning.
And after you enjoy your weekend, make sure you start your work week with us.
When you start your day with us, we'll help you get moving and motivated to have the best day ever. Go ahead, say it, Griff.
Best day ever!
So wake up with us. We'll be faith walking,
Love talking.
and joy living on Get Up Mornings.
You're listening to 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
Do you have high blood pressure or diabetes? Are you over the age of 65 and covered by Medicare? Then pay close attention to this message. Medicare has introduced some new benefits to help consumers during these cautious COVID-19 times. They realize many of you don't want to leave your home to visit a doctor. So now you can get a remote patient monitoring device shipped to your home at little or no cost to you. Now your doctor can identify your problems in real time, which could potentially save your life. Victory Medical can easily ship this monitoring device directly to your home at little or no cost to you. If you have high blood pressure or diabetes and you're covered by Medicare, make this free call right now to see if you qualify for a new remote patient monitoring device. Call now. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. That's 800-213-9527. You don't sit behind a desk every day to earn a living. You're out and about making it happen. And sometimes you get a little bit behind on your paperwork, like bookkeeping and paying your taxes. It's easy to get behind on paying your taxes. It happens to the best of us. And you know what happens next. The big bad IRS comes knocking on your door. And when that happens, you need to call the good old boys at the Tax Doctor. Let them do what they do best. Deal and negotiate with the IRS so you pay the lowest you can in back taxes that the law allows. We are a 100% U.S.-based company, and we've saved our clients millions over the years in back taxes. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call my friends right now at the Tax Doctor and learn more. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
Hey, what's going on? This is Lecrae, and right now you're listening to the lunch break.
All right, y'all. We're back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, streaming live, kyokradio.org. We're also on social media, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Okay, so yesterday I said I was going to make a comment about Aaron Rodgers, and I never got to that yesterday. So let me just do this real fast and in a hurry. I really wonder if Aaron Rodgers gets the simplicity of he controls the narrative. He really does control the narrative. Kirk Cousins, I know, is not on the same level as Aaron Rodgers as far as success goes and stats goes. Aaron Rodgers will probably be a Hall of Famer. Kirk Cousins probably will not. So when Aaron Rodgers says something, the media probably pays a little bit more attention to it than if Kirk Cousins says it. I'm saying this one more time. This whole narrative about the vaccine and being immunized and all of that is squarely on one person, Aaron Rodgers. He could have not said anything. Hey, I'm not going to reveal my status. I'll leave it at that. It's personal for me, and that be it. And folks would have written what they wanted to write, but he controlled the narrative. They either had to make it up or they had to leave it alone. But he controlled that narrative. He decided. I'm fully immunized. And then when follow-up questions came, then he talked as if and gave the implication as if he was fully vaccinated. He controlled that narrative. And then when the facts came out, then he wanted to blame it on woke media and cancel culture and that. And the reality was that was a decision that he made, and he controlled the narrative. So then he came back and he said, if I misled anybody or if I was vague or whatever, I apologize. Fine. But then he goes back out and he stirs it up again. And they don't play well and they lose. And now it's the toe injury. And he's relating the toe injury to COVID. Okay, fine. You got a toe injury. It hurts more than anything you've ever experienced. You have literally thrown your team under the bus because you have revealed your injury, where most teams try to be as evasive as possible about their injuries, especially with their starting quarterback. But guess what? Once again, Aaron Rodgers controls that narrative. And to get on national TV, because you knew it was going to be broadcast around the country, at least around the world, if not, and show your nasty feet and your jacked up toes. Not to prove your point, but to be demeaning and, sniping at people and try to one-up somebody. I mean, bruh, you got a right to say and do whatever it is you want to say and do, but you don't have to be. I can't even use the words I want to use as a Christian station. You don't have to be that guy. You control the narrative. You're Aaron Rodgers. You control the narrative. They're going to write what you say. You're Aaron Rodgers. They're not going to write what I say. They're going to write what you say. You control the narrative. And now you just seem weird. You just seem weird. Yeah, there are going to be people that will support Aaron Rodgers because A, he's Aaron Rodgers, and two, he's saying what they think and what they believe in. But to go back to one of his other issues previously, it ain't because they like you. It's because you're Aaron Rodgers and because you're saying what they want you to say. Bruh, are you okay? I know he ain't listening. I know my little detractors are like, here we go again. I'm not making it about race. I'm not. Like I said, if it was Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, Kirk did it one way and had no problems. And had one single problem. Aaron handled it his way and can't shut up about it. So it gets to what I was going to say that and for those who are listening who think that, I might be trying to just be a shock jock and for shock value, what I'm about to say, I literally believe. I'll never have the opportunity to prove it, but I literally believe it. If I had to start a team and my choices at quarterback were only Aaron Rodgers and Mac Jones from New England out of Alabama, I'm going Mac Jones. Even if I know what I know about Aaron Rodgers today as a football player, not any of the other stuff. not any of the other stuff. I'm going Mac Jones. I'm going Mac Jones. Why? Because I don't have to have all that drama that goes with Aaron Rodgers. Everybody has forgotten what Aaron Rodgers took that whole organization through this past offseason. Did y'all forget that this man literally held a franchise hostage over them making business decisions? Not picking at him, not meddling with him, not being mean to him, not being petty, but making business decisions. Aaron Rodgers ain't going to be the quarterback in Green Bay forever. So they decided to go out and get somebody who they thought could be their franchise quarterback. New England has drafted a quarterback while Tom Brady was there as the starter many years, many times. I can remember when they had Rohan Davey out of LSU and drafted quarterbacks plenty of times. And guess what? One day they looked up and Tom Brady was gone and they needed what? A quarterback. I wish Pittsburgh would handle their business like that. I wish well, the Saints technically have. They drafted Ian Book, but I wish they'd do a better job of drafting quarterbacks for the future. If I had a chance to start a franchise and I could only pick between two quarterbacks, Mac Jones, and y'all know how I feel about Mac Jones, or Aaron Rodgers, I would take Mac Jones in a heartbeat. Let's go. Everybody talks about the baggage and the drama that comes with other players. Tim Tebow, too much baggage, too much drama. Colin Kaepernick, too much baggage, too much drama. Cam Newton, too much baggage, too much drama. I got news for you. This dude could open a Louis Vuitton store. He could open a Toomey luggage store. He got so much baggage. It's always something with this dude all of a sudden. Probably oh man, there's a reel out and the people jump on the reel and say, I'm feeling good. If you got negative energy, don't be around me. I'm feeling good. Aaron Rodgers, bro, you will suck all the energy out of a room. Don't nobody want to see your feet. Don't want nobody want to keep hearing you lie. If you want to be anti-vax, be the poster boy for anti-vaccination. Do that. People going to be behind you. But don't lie, get caught lying, and then get mad that you got caught lying, and then blame everything on the thing you lied about and show your nasty, funky feet just to prove you were a liar. Dude, how we know your toes wasn't crooked and crusty before you got on the TV with him the other day? Mac Jones ain't showing his feet. We just trying to win games over there in New England. But you gotta show yours. Baby, let me get to some birthdays. Let me get to some birthdays, man. This cat here. If you had a chance to start a team and you could choose between Aaron Rodgers and Mac Jones, who you starting your team with? I'm curious. Man, Clarence done sent me a picture of his butterball turkey after it got cooked. I'm jelly, bro. Man, that looks good, Clarence. Man, that looks good. Clarence got a butterball turkey courtesy of the lunch break and the legendary KYOK. And man, I'm just saying. I love it. All right, let's do some of these birthdays real quick and get on out of the way. I'll do the friends and family birthdays right now, and then I'll do the celebrity birthdays in the next hour. All right, happy birthday going out to Carmina. Carmina Barnett celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, friend, sister. Shauna Birch, 44. LaVon Gregory celebrating her birthday along with Daryl Johnson, Joe musical self. Theron Bush, 57 today. Pamela Brown, just as beautiful as the day is long. Yolanda Lazine, one of our sisters in the business. Barbara Jean Johnson Morrison is 58. Malcolm Williams is celebrating his birthday, along with Errol Jones, Sandra Galvin Young, John Walden, and Patricia Williams, all celebrating birthdays today. Usher, you know what to do.
Oh, go shawty, it's your birthday. Ooh, it's your birthday. Go shawty, it's your birthday. Today's your day. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to everybody again celebrating birthdays. Let me run through these again. Somebody said my mic was off. Patricia Wamboga, Carmina Barnett, John Walden, Sandra Galvin Young, Errol Jones, Malcolm Williams, Barbara Jean Johnson Morrison, Yolanda Lazine, what's up, sis? Pamela Brown, Theron Bush, Daryl Johnson, Levon Gregory, Shayna Birch, all celebrating birthdays today. All right. Usher, thank you for doing your thing. Right now in the third quarter, 12 minutes and 5 seconds left in the third. The UT Longhorns are still trailing K-State 17-16. 17-16. Overseer Barry, my goodness, praise the Lord, speak the truth. Happy belated Thanksgiving to you. Elder Barry, blessings to you, and please give Apostle Barry my love, and you all are doing amazing work out there in the community over there at the church. We just nothing but love and praise for you all as well. All right. So Keith Hennig said he would start his team with Josh Allen. Keith, those are not your choices. You can't just grab a random quarterback. You got to use either Mac Jones or Aaron Rodgers. That's all we got. Ain't got no gravy, ain't got no butter. Mac Jones or Aaron Rodgers. Who you picking to start to run your Buccaneers? You're not one of them Glazer brothers. You Keith Hennig, and you own the Buccaneers. Who you picking as your quarterback, man? That's what I want to know. Cowboy fans can't be seen, can't be heard. Do they still put people's faces on milk cartons? If they can y'all call the milk company and ask them to put, have you seen me? And then put a Cowboy fan on there, because they are nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be heard. I got a special guest coming on this hour. We're going to talk about the holiday blues, mental health and the holidays. Keith Hennig said I would go with Mac as well. Same reasons as yours. Yeah, bruh. You always got a problem here lately? Always got a problem. I hope he listens. Somebody record this segment about mental health and the holidays. Maybe he was going through something, and he needs this. He needs the number over to the Hartwell Clinic. Get him hooked up. We'll get him hooked up. Friends don't let friends act like Aaron Rodgers. All right, that should be on a shirt. Friends don't let friends act like Aaron Rodgers. Again, you control the narrative, man. You don't have to. Goodness gracious. All right, so anyway, let me hit the top of the hour. We'll get into hour number 2. I know I've offended somebody. Well, somebody said a hit dog a holler. All right, y'all, we'll be right back right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
The legendary 1140 AM, KYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
On that field today. Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. Fever. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm proud when you step on the field, man. That's who I am. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Fever. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
All right, game not over. We're just first hour on the books, second hour underway right here on the legendary KYOK. All right, real quick, let me get on Sybil Wilkes and what you need to know today. We'll be right back right after this.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Friday, November 26, 2021. Number 1. Tens of millions of Americans hit the roads over this Thanksgiving holiday, even as gas prices are still on the rise in many parts of the country. On average, gas prices have nearly tripled in the last 12 to 18 months. The national average for a gallon of regular unleaded gas is currently $3.40. This week, President Biden announced the release of 50 million barrels to bring gas prices down. However, the specifics of when and by how much have not been announced. Number 2. Last week, Vice President Kamala Harris was the first Black female president of the United States for about 85 minutes when Joe Biden was under anesthesia for a routine colonoscopy. The transfer of powers is a standing procedure, but it was a landmark moment that set the press abuzz as to who was going to run for the Oval Office in 2024. Well, White House spokeswoman Jen Psaki shut down all the rumors with a very unexpected announcement that Joe Biden plans to run for president again in 2024. This announcement comes among a dip in approval ratings, causing speculation as to who plans to take over in 2024. Number 3, beginning January 22nd, President Joe Biden will require essential non-resident travelers crossing U.S. land borders to be fully vaccinated. This will include individuals such as truck drivers, government and emergency response officials to be vaccinated. A senior administration official said the requirement brings the rules for essential travelers in line with those that took effect earlier this month for leisure travelers when the U.S. reopened its borders to fully vaccinated individuals. Number 4, November is Native American Heritage Month. It's also the month of trauma for Native Americans, as most Americans celebrate Thanksgiving. It's thought of as a time for food and family, but for many Native Americans, Thanksgiving is a reminder of the loss of their lands and their people. According to an interview, CBS reporters asked some Native Americans of a local tribe what they do for Thanksgiving, and they simply replied, they ignore it. Number 5, as the gift-giving time approaches, consider supporting one of the many Black businesses featured in our newsletter over this past year. This week, we feature Black Art in America. Read more about the husband and wife artists Najee and Sateria Dorsey and their mission to preserve the fabric of African-American culture in today's Black Business Spotlight. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Life is a series of choices. Choose to act on your good intentions. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the Black Alzheimer's Brain Study at the University of North Texas Health Science Center at Fort Worth, and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and the American Heart Association. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, thank you very much there, Sybil Wilkes, right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. That is our What You Need to Know update. All right, we're in hour number 2, and appreciate y'all tuning in. I know it's the day after the holiday. I'm glad to hear Sybil Wilkes talk about how Indigenous Americans feel about the holiday, Thanksgiving. I did a little research myself, and did not realize that this is a time of mourning for many in that culture. And I use the word indigenous because they were here. They weren't lost. They didn't stumble on America. They were here. And, you know, everybody says happy Thanksgiving. Well, it might be happy for, you know, for you and your family and your culture, but for others, it's a time of mourning, because if you think about all of the lives that were lost and the land that was lost, taken, you know, there are multiple ways to experience the same event. And I choose to give some honor and respect to the people that were here first. So am I being woke? Am I being this? Am I being that? You decide. I'm being respectful. I'm being respectful. You know, I was always taught when you know better, you do better. So, you know, if you say happy Thanksgiving to me and I don't say it back, it's not that I'm being disrespectful to you. I'm just saying, hey, happy holiday to you. Or, you know, I hope you had a great day yesterday. Okay? All right? All right. Freestyle Friday. Freestyle Friday. We're going to have a special guest joining us in about 10 minutes. And she's going to come in and deal with something that we, some of us deal with on a frequent basis. In fact, Sybil Wilkes yesterday talked about how some family members were anxious about getting together this holiday, not because of COVID and all that, just because of COVID and all that, but because of some of the political unrest and division that's there. And they didn't want to get into a battle with family members about, oh, you're left, and oh, you're right, and oh, you're this, and oh, you're that. And that's a real feeling. That's one of the many things that can trigger holiday blues. Yeah. Keith Hennick, I'm agreeing with you. Native Americans got shot, but man, it's an understatement. I said to somebody yesterday, man, I wish that there was a way. I know that there are literally laws on the books that don't allow indigenous Americans to, the indigenous people of this country to sue for getting their land back, which is crazy to me. It reminds me of the story of Henrietta Lacks, who went in for treatment for an illness, and then they found out how her cells continue to regenerate over and over and over again. She's been gone for a long time, and her cells are still regenerating and being used to treat various different diseases. And they literally wrote laws to make it impossible for the family to sue and get money from what they took from Henrietta Lacks. Well, guess what? The family sued recently, and I hope they get everything that they deserve. Obviously, they can't bring their mother, their loved one back, but you know, when you take something and then put laws in place to not ever have to give it back, CJ, I'm giving thanks for what God has done for me. All of that other stuff is not even in my wheelhouse anymore. I got you. And you know me, I like to be sensitive with my words. When you say all that other stuff, it kind of minimizes it. You know, I tell people all the time, if it's not that big of a deal, then do me a favor. Let me discover your house while you're living in it, claim it for myself, kick you out, put you on a piece of property that's far substandard than to what you owned, and let's do that. I mean, I'll even be generous. Let's only do it for 2 weeks. Like, let me just discover your house, put you out of it. God forbid, you know, harm or you know, do something to one of, you know, a few of your family members who fought back, overpower them, and then put you on a piece of property that's far substandard than what you had for 2 weeks. Let's do it. Let's do it. Because it's not so bad, remember? They should be grateful. Let's see. CJ, I'm glad that you're thankful for what you have and for what God has done for you. All right, take a break. Be right back right after this on the lunch break.
If you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt, then listen up. We can reduce or eliminate your interest rates. Cut your monthly payment up to 50% and stop all late fees. Our company has been helping good people just like you get out of debt for over 30 years. Don't get stressed out. If you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt and medical bills, we can show you a way to reduce all of your bills to one lower monthly payment that you can afford. So again, if you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt and medical bills you can't afford, make this free call today and learn how you can finally get out of debt. Call now for your free consultation. 800-638-7112. 800-638-7112. 800-638-7112. That's 800-638-7112. Sponsored by Credit Guard.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m. This is Brian Courtney Wilson, and you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all. We're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, streaming live, KYOKradio.org. Freestyle Friday. We're definitely freestyling, talking about a lot of different things. CJ, no. I understand what transpired. Native Americans get a lot from the government. We, blacks, are still waiting. I ain't gonna get into that debate with you. I agree. Both things could be true and definitely mutually exclusive. That whole they get a lot from the government. When's the last time you've been to a reserve? There are some. Now I ain't gonna say all of them. There are some that you wouldn't even drive through them. I was raised with a lot of women in my family, sister, mom, aunts, got 9 aunts. So I know certain women that won't even go to the bathroom if it don't look right. I promise you, I can take you to a couple of places not too far from here, and you'd be like, wait, what? So, I'm just saying. And oh yeah, by the way, we as black people definitely deserve reparations. Let's not convolute that with what any other group got, because I know you kind of got to use that as a reason to say this group got this group got that, this group got the other. But yeah. Kind of like I do with football players. I don't count their money. I'm not about to say that indigenous people in this country are getting a lot, because I've been to some of the areas where it don't look like they got anything at all. Keith Hennick, I'm in that predicament right now. In-laws are here. I'm watching you and the Horns barricaded in my office. Keith, and the Horns are driving, by the way. The Horns are driving. They trying to make this something. I'll say it again, and I'm not knocking Hudson Card, but Casey Thompson is the answer at quarterback. I know Todd ain't impressed with him and all that, and he's not as athletic as the young man over there at Oklahoma. But for what Steve Sarkisian wants to do, Casey Thompson gives him the kind of quarterback that can do it. If you remember, Mac Jones did a whole lot a whole lot at at Alabama in Steve Sarkisian's offense. Same thing with Tua. If you give Sarkisian the right quarterback, he can get some things done. Now he's got to fill in some other pieces. The team is not the same without Bijan. Obviously you got a top flight wide receiver that I think is in the top of the UT wide receivers all time. But you just need some more pieces. You got to keep building. So right now they're driving. Casey Thompson, what does that say? 15 for 19, 149 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception today. And they're in the third quarter with 2 minutes 55 left. So Keith Hennick, the Longhorns are playing like a real college team. It took 12 games to get them. I could not imagine them losing 7 in a row. And it ain't over yet. I mean, Kansas State ain't trying to give this one up. And Kansas State is still up. But I felt like UT was going to come out with some heart, with some pride, and try and end this 6-game losing streak. Try and end on a high note. They're not bowl eligible. They're not going to be playing in the who knows what bowl. But you want to go out of this thing with a measure of pride. So we'll see what they come up with. Yep. Big shout out to Natasha Marie. She got a new radio show. Natasha, if you're listening, call us and tell us about your new radio show. And I got to find a way to get on that. She's asked me to be on it, and I got to find a way to get on. Okay, with that field goal, the Longhorns have just taken a 19-17 lead over Kansas State with just over a minute to go in the third quarter. So the Longhorns are up. A minute and 52 left in the third quarter. They're up 19-17 on Kansas State. All right, special guest is about to call in a couple of minutes. I'm really looking forward to talking to her. If you got something else you'd like to share, talk about, you're welcome to get with me. I'm ignoring all of the Aaron Rodgers apologists that I've got in my text messages right now. I guess I touched a nerve. I do have a couple of people that answered the question, though. AJ, you said just on the football accomplishments, no way in the world you won't go with Aaron Rodgers. You're right. I misspoke. Knowing what I know now, even with his football accomplishments, I ain't going with Aaron Rodgers. I don't need the drama. And right on time to talk about, drama and stress and unnecessary jujitsu is the owner of the Hartwell Clinic, one of our sponsors for the Lunch Break Weekly, Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. It is none other than Janae Tidwell. How you doing, Janae?
Hey there, AJ. How are you?
I'm good. I had a question. I know you're a football fan, fan of the Colts. Aaron Rodgers,
team.
He on a roll lately. I said Aaron Rodgers, because of who he is, he controls the narrative.
Okay.
And he lied about his COVID status, and then he got mad because he got caught lying. And then it was the woke culture and all that, cancel culture and all that. And now he wants to blame his toe injury on COVID, which there's some, studies that say there's some bone injuries or what have you possibly. And he gets on TV and shows his little nasty feet. Bruh, you ain't got to do all that. You're doing too much. You Aaron Rodgers. You just want drama.
Sometimes people, they want everybody to see, so therefore it makes it more concrete, more valid, right? There are some people who want to show you better than they can tell you. And I feel like that could be a lot of people in the NFL. They want to show you better than they could tell you, because that's how their persona is made. And I'm trying to help them. I'm really just trying to help them.
I see you trying real hard to help Aaron Rodgers out. I'm a country boy from the city, right? And my mama and my grandmama had this saying, I know you wasn't out there showing your nasty behind, your whole natural behind. Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers out there showing his whole natural nasty feet. Bro, you ain't got to do all that.
He felt, again, he felt it. He needed to put it out there for y'all to see, because you'd already caught him in a few fibs. You'd already caught him in some stuff. So now he needs more than just words for everybody to see and get it. He needs to show you. He needs to show you. Yes.
Something else those fine women said in my life: if you tell one lie, you got to tell two.
Well, they do travel in packs. They do travel in multiples. Yeah.
All right, so I know we didn't call to talk about this. Let's do this. Let me take a quick break. When I come back, let's get into what I had you come on to talk about. Can we do that?
Okay.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have therapist Janae Tidwell from the Hartwell Clinic, and we'll talk about holiday blues, mental health, and the holidays when we come back on the lunch break.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-253-1892. 800-253-1892. 800-253-1892. That's 800-253-1892.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there. Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your
All right,
voice
that was the last
and
one.
opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 a.m. and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Beautiful people, this is Major. This is why I love you. On the lunch break.
Thank you, nephew. Major out there doing major things, and we are doing some of them as well right here on Freestyle Friday on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I've got licensed professional therapist Janae Tidwell joining us. She's the owner of the Hartwell Clinic, and of course, y'all know her as one of the sponsors of our lunch break weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge, and she's been on the show before. Janae.
Yeah.
Sybil Wilkes from What You Need to Know Today, used to be on the Tom Joyner morning show, said something very interesting yesterday. She said there were a lot of people that were anxious about getting together for the holidays this year, not just because of COVID, because this is the first year that they were going to be out, what have you, but because of all of the political unrest that we have seen over the last several years, that now they're going to be in possibly a hostile situation with somebody saying, oh, you're left and you're right and you're liberal and you're conservative and you're red and you're blue. Talk about that anxiety going into the holidays that some people feel.
I think it starts out with having some really high, maybe even unrealistic expectations of what the holidays are supposed to look like. I think we've gotten this picture of what a Hallmark holidays, I'll call it, right? Where it's supposed to be this wonderful, fabulous, loving environment, and family dynamics don't always look pretty. And so we have an expectation, but then we walk into something else, that can create even much more anxiety. And going in that Uncle so-and-so is going to be way right? And aunt so and so is going to be to the left, and you kind of know this about your family already. So walking in with those expectations to say, hey, I may align one way or the other, but maybe I just need to stay neutral, and like your wonderful women of your past, mind your own, right? Stay
Yeah,
right here
yeah.
in between, and stay away from those conversations, because they're bound to happen. But if they can't happen peacefully, if we can't figure out how to just talk about it and say we can agree to disagree and still love each other, then the anxiety grows. And that usually is where that stems from a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. We got therapist Janae Tidwell on the show with us from the Hartwell Clinic, joining us on Freestyle Friday to talk about the holiday blues. I know one of the things that kind of made me stay away, and I'm kind of the black sheep of my family. Got a big family too: Louisiana, Georgia, Ohio, Florida. Was you always got that one uncle or auntie or big mama, or I don't want to call them your drunk parad. That's gonna tell all your business. You sitting there, you're minding your business, you trying to eat your little piece of turkey, and they want to know whatever happened with that felony, or you still having all them kids. Did you find a job? Lost 12 jobs. Like, how do you handle that when somebody feels very comfortable talking about your sensitive business just because y'all have gotten together for the holidays?
Those individuals, and like you said, everybody's got one. I've got an uncle who will remain nameless, but he kind of fits in that category as well. And so I feel like sometimes they want to talk about everybody else's stuff because what they don't want to do is talk about theirs, right? And so let me make sure I point out everybody else's flaws so y'all can't really talk about my flaws. And what I'm not telling you to do is to pull out his flaws. Like, we're not going to go tit for tat. That's not going to be the answer, right? But I usually will flip that thing and talk about something that is happening in my life that I want to share, right? So I'll be like, you know what? Not too much happening here, but let me tell you about this other thing that I'm doing, and share something I'm excited about, or share something that's going well, or, and that's one way to shut people down, is you kind of kill them with kindness.
Okay.
But you can also flip the script, right? I can start talking about anything in my life and things that I've got going on that I may want to share or feel is positive, and get them out of that negative frame of mind concerning my past or my present, maybe.
And that's the crazy thing. Some people literally feel like they've got to brace themselves. They got to go through training, like they're going into battle, into a prize fight, just to go and have a meal with family members for the holidays. Yeah. Because of stuff like that. Talk about some of the other things that cause the holiday blues for people.
Those expectations, I think, is where the foundation lies. And so it can be gifting, right? Like, I've got to come with the biggest gift if we're talking about the holidays in December, whether it's Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah, whatever. I got to come with the most expensive thing. I've got to show out, or I've got to bring a good enough dish. Right? Maybe I've been dubbed to make the sweet potatoes this year, and I got to live up to Aunt so-and-so's who's not here, and that can cause extra additional stress. All of that stuff is a part of living up to this expectation that doesn't have to be there. But then we have to realize family dynamics are what they are. If this is the way my family has operated, if I know this going in, let's not expect it to be any different. Let's kind of prepare for it. And sometimes that may mean, hey, guess what? I got to make the rounds, so to speak, and I got to hit a couple houses, so I only get to spend an hour here instead of spending 5 hours here, and knowing that I'm going to get berated at some point of time with questions or comments that I'm not looking to deal with. So there's a couple different ways in which to deal with that.
Yeah, Keith Hennig just chimed in. He said, kindness does not happen at my house during the holidays. Way too much arguing. And that's not that he's not exclusive to that. He's not the only one. What's the process for protecting and defending yourself when you're in those situations and it's going? I know you just said, maybe make the round so you're not there for an extended period of time, but what are some other helpful tools for somebody who experiences that?
I would also say, if you can walk in with an ally, right? Like, if you know that you're walking in to an aggressive situation, walk in knowing, call cousin so-and-so beforehand or talk to a sibling beforehand, like, hey, I'm gonna be your ally and you're gonna be my ally and we're gonna try to do this together. I think we often feel a lot of pressure because we feel like we're walking into it alone. And so if I know I've got some allies in the room and I can shoot them the signal,
Yeah.
and they can kind of come to my rescue, if you will, then that can also help alleviate some of that. Because again, we know family dynamics. If I know I'm walking into a really aggressive situation, let's prepare and not walk in with fingers crossed, hoping it's going to be something different.
Yeah, I don't mean to make light of the situation, but I know folks who joke around about, hey, look, and if you want to rent a boyfriend or rent a girlfriend or rent a cousin
Man,
or something like that. I mean, literally, though, now you got somebody who they're not attached to your family and they can help you provide a method of escape or buffer between you and those unnecessary anxieties that come up from, folks just not having healthy boundaries.
yeah, absolutely. And maybe it is. Maybe it's the friend, the best friend that's coming with you, or maybe it's a significant other, or maybe it is somebody you like. Look, I don't want my real friends and my real significant other to be put through this madness. So that third party, it's crazy to think, but there are really people who rent folks for the holidays to get through family dynamic situations. But I will say this, if I know that it's about to be that type of situation, I'm going to really just kind of protect myself and say,
Yeah.
hey, I don't really know if that's the best place for me for the holidays, because I'm going to make some really maybe tough decisions and say I'm going to be here 15, 20 minutes. And then I'm going to go be where I maybe feel comfortable, not even so much celebrated,
Yeah.
but where I'm comfortable.
Right.
And saying that I have to be there because Aunt so and so, or because my mother or my father. Yeah, those have tos are those expectations that I'm trying to fill again, and I shouldn't have to do that if it's a place of potential danger or harm for me.
Yeah, yeah. We got Janae Tidwell. She's the owner of Fowler and Tidwell, a phenomenal counseling company or agency practice. That's what I never get the word right. Practice that helps sponsor our lunch break weekly, Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. What about when you have a matriarch or a patriarch that sometimes will try to force the get together? Like they know you got issues with your sister or your cousin or somebody at the thing, but they just, it's almost like they guilt you into coming. And I don't know, that seems like it's pressure in itself. Now I gotta go, or else I'm gonna be on the wrong side of Pawpaw or my dad or my mom. What about situations like that?
I appreciate that because I think that that is a real situation as well. And when it comes to trying to honor those heads of families like that, the matriarch and the patriarch, it's probably not going to be a conversation where you can explain, hey, this isn't going to be the best situation for me. So I go, if it were me again, I would go honor that person. But realize me honoring that person doesn't mean I have to stay the day, right? I can go a little early. I can come a little late. I can do that and make sure I show love to that potential person or people, whoever those may be, if there are multiple elders in the family that kind of expect you to run through. And just realizing again that we're again fulfilling those expectations, and to us to deal with the guilt, there's an expectation that's been put upon us that even is making us feel guilty. Right? That's where guilt comes from. It's somebody else's expectation or even my own that I did not live up to. And so maybe I need to figure out why it is that I have those expectations upon me and why I own them. Because others' expectations, I shouldn't be worried about filling. Now, if it's mine and I didn't fill it, that's a whole different narrative and that's a different type of conversation and work. But guilt usually lies in somebody else's expectation placed upon me that then I feel like I couldn't meet for them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's me living my life for somebody else. And so I'm gonna do a lot of fine line work with that individual and really be like, who are we living for? Yes,
Yeah.
it's one day, but is this one day worth it?
Yeah, we got again Janae Tidwell, licensed clinical or licensed professional therapist here on the lunch break. Not trying to get deep in the numbers, but do you see an increase in the number of people that are needing and requesting therapy around the holidays, before, during, and after? And if so, just give us an idea of what that looks like.
Absolutely. So it's interesting. You'll usually have a peak October, November-ish, in people coming in and people requesting, and then it'll die down a little bit during December, just because people don't move around as much and they're using resources for travel, for gifting, for things like that. And
Right.
then we'll get a little bit past January, maybe to the end of January and beginning of February, and we'll see a rise again. And we can see a rise in this rise and fall, the percentage, it's swinging anywhere from 20 to 30%. The phones will ring off the hook. And if we've got room, of course, we're taking clients. But there have been often times where I've had to refer out during the holidays just because we just didn't have the manpower anymore to deal with all of the increase that can come. And it's said that those with mental illnesses already diagnosed usually see an increase in their symptoms during the holiday season. Usually about 64% of those already diagnosed tend to get worse, have more symptoms during the holidays. So those individuals may already be in counseling and then want more, right? So I go from, seeing them maybe once every 2 weeks to seeing them once a week. And that also is a piece of the struggle and trying to make sure you've got the manpower to help the individuals who are calling in. So yeah, it's definitely an increase over the holiday season.
That's amazing. I'm not surprised, but it's still amazing that, like you said, that gap between Christmas and February, March timeframe, that somebody's like, man, I still got to deal with what happened in December or November, and I got to do something about it right now. Let me ask this question to you. Is it wise to try to explain to the family during the holidays I'm saying our because I experience them too, what our mental health challenges and issues are and why we may be feeling uncomfortable to be there? Or is it best to just not do that? What would you recommend?
I'm going to say it's always good to have a conversation with someone that you trust. So I may not be able to tell everybody in the family because I know that there are some people who may just not get it and understand, but there's maybe hopefully going to be 1 to 2, maybe 3 people who can be your allies, who kind of know you a little bit more intimately than that third distant cousin that always comes out of nowhere, right? And to tell them, hey, yeah, this is what I do, this is what I deal with, and can you be a support? Or, I'm going to need your help at Big Mama's house this year because this year's a little tougher for me for X, Y, and Z reason. I always say, have those conversations and let people know. The more we can decrease the stigma around the mental health and have people really understand what's going on and how it affects us as a people and then us individually is beneficial across the board.
Yeah, you just brought up a whole lot right there. Got to get ready to take a break in a couple of minutes, but let me touch on that. As a culture, there's stigmas. I know my mother was educated and a very good woman and raised by a good family, and she literally told me as a young person, we can't afford for you to be depressed. Get your butt in class, and that's something that stuck with me. And she might have just been saying it for that moment because she thought I was, not trying to be in class or trying to do something else. And then the other part is the church. People feeling like if you got mental health issues, that means you ain't praying hard enough. Or you involved in something you ain't got no business being involved. See, if you wasn't watching them scary movies, or if you wasn't taking that yoga and meditating and burning sage and all that, then the devil wouldn't be messing with your mind like that. Talk about those if you don't mind.
Oh, goodness. So those stigmas, I think they're just mental constructs, belief systems, whatever, that have been passed down from generation to generation. And what we have to remember is mental health is very much like medicine. The cures, the medicines, the remedies, the treatments that we used back in the 1940s and 50s, we would be appalled if our doctors said that we were going to use those same thoughts, techniques, practices today because of all of the developments. And mental health is so very similar, right? We've got new technology, new treatments, new ways in which to approach mental health that can be night and day differences to people. But we still are holding on to some of those old belief systems surrounding mental health and its treatment that we've gotten from parents or grandparents from way back in the day. So I push and challenge people a lot of times to say, how come we can't think differently about some of these stigmas and really say, if it didn't, if it doesn't seem to fit nowadays, let's come up with a new belief system surrounding mental health. When it comes to the church, that is a humongous support for a lot of us in the African American culture. But that doesn't mean it's the only support, right? So we definitely don't want to take faith away. We think it's a humongous component when it comes to treating mental health, but it's not the only component. And so we usually don't pray away cavities, and we don't pray away broken bones. We usually go and get the cast on our wrist and have everybody sign it. Right?
Wow.
We usually go to the dentist and get all of the cavities fixed. So if we do those things, why cannot we do the same when it comes to mental health? Because truly mental health is physical health. They're one and the same. So those stigmas, those belief systems, those old kind of ways of looking at mental health, I challenge us to really let those go, and let's look at mental health as you would physical health. If you'll go and get a Z-Pack when you've got a virus, why can't we do the same for mental health?
Yeah, I tell people all the time, you can have me as your pastor and you can have them as your therapist. And just because I can preach don't mean I can counsel. And you can trust Jesus and listen to your therapist at the same time. It's not double-minded. And listen, I'm not going to let somebody who needs a therapist themselves tell me I don't need one for myself. So I'll be right back on that note. It's the lunch break. We got licensed professional therapist Janae Tidwell from the Hartwell Clinic joining us on the show. We got some questions now. She can't. I'm making up a word. Don't get mad. She can't therapize you over the phone. But if you got some questions, hit me up 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000 on the lunch break.
You don't sit behind a desk every day to earn a living. You're out and about making it happen. And sometimes you get a little bit behind on your paperwork, like bookkeeping and paying your taxes. It's easy to get behind on paying your taxes. It happens to the best of us. And you know what happens next. The big bad IRS comes knocking on your door. And when that happens, you need to call the good old boys at the tax doctor. Let them do what they do best. Deal and negotiate with the IRS so you pay the lowest you can in back taxes that the law allows. We are a 100% U.S.-based company, and we've saved our clients millions over the years in back taxes. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call my friends right now at the Tax Doctor and learn more.
800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's AJ Jones with the lunch break on the legendary KYOK AM 1140 at 92.3 FM. It's that time of year where we are reminded of all the things we should be thankful for, and that it's more blessed to give than to receive. So with that in mind, on Wednesdays from now through Christmas, we'll give you a chance to win a gift certificate from Butterball. That's right, you can win a gift certificate for a Butterball turkey on Wednesdays on the lunch break between 12 and 2. Just be the right caller, and your Butterball turkey will be on us at the legendary KYOK AM 1140 at 92.3.
Well, I hope you are enjoying your weekend. Hey, everybody, it's Erica Campbell.
And I'm Griff from Get Up Mornings.
We want to thank you so much for rocking with us every weekday morning.
And after you enjoy your weekend, make sure you start your work
We have a
with
question.
us.
When you start your day with us, we'll help you get moving and motivated to have the best day ever. Go ahead, say it, Griff.
Best day ever!
So wake up with us. We'll be faith walking,
Love talking,
and joy living on Get Up Mornings.
You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
Hey, what's up? This your boy James Fortune, and you are listening to The Lunch Break. Keep it locked.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. We're streaming live, kyokradio.org. And I've got a special guest joining us right now, licensed professional therapist Janae Tidwell. Felicia, you done got rid of some of your names. It used to be Felicia, Yolanda, Green Johnson, Smith Barney, Aloysius III. And she done got rid of all her names. I don't like it. I'll put them names back on there. Now, Felicia is a LPCA. Did I get it right? You froze, Janae. Are you frozen? Are you just staring at me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm back. Am I here? Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah. You back. I was like, oh, no, she froze on me. All right. So anyway, let's go to the phone line. We got a caller. Stand by. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Let's do it.
This is Russell Thompson.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Mr. Praise and Worship Thursday himself. How you doing, brother?
And I'm doing good. I've been enjoying the show and particularly talking about mental health in the church. And I just had a quick question. A lot of us, kind of deal with, talking in the spirit, moving in the spirit, listening from the spirit. Should that be cautioned more in leadership in the church with dealing with the unknown like that, or should we just trust what is presented in front of us?
That's a very good question, Russell. Stay right there. I want you to hear the answer. Janae, go ahead. I'm going to let you answer that first, and then I want to add something to that.
Okay. He said, I missed the last part of his question. He said, should we trust? And then I didn't hear the end. I'm assuming he said, should we trust that we're kind of walking in the right steps or heading in the right direction? Okay, very good. Just wanted to be clear. So from a mental health perspective, I where faith comes into play for those individuals who have a strong faith foundation, when they go to church and when they're kind of in the spirit, they're believing, I'm assuming, right, that this is something that's going to be positive for them. This is something that they're going to gain a new revelation from, insight from, direction from, and then be able to walk in their faith in accordance to that. So I don't see where that could be a negative thing if it is in line with what that person, is looking for, doing, and feeling. Of course, we know that people can give bad insight and bad word and maybe misguided things, but that can happen anywhere. That can happen in a doctor's office. That can happen in my therapist's office, right? So I think there's wisdom and discernment that has to go along with that. But again, if it is something that client truly believes in and believes is for their benefit and it's something that's going to be good for them, then they're doing a faith walk and a faith journey for their healing, for their treatment. And any movement towards healing from a therapeutic standpoint is positive movement, as long as it's not harming the person, right? I think it's positive.
Yeah. And then Pastor Thompson, you and I know 1 Corinthians 13 very well. But that part where it says we see in part, we know in part, we prophesy in part. And there are some people that will give their prophecy as if it's the complete, thorough A to Z. And the reality is we don't always know the complete, thorough part from A to Z. We might have only gotten a part of that. And it is wrong in some cases, or let me just say, it's wrong for us to act like we got the whole thing when we know we don't have the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the question, though, because that's a very, very good question.
Thank you very much, and have a rest of the good day.
Thank you. Very good question. Because, man, again, I'm not knocking the church. I know a lot of times it might come off as if I am, and a lot of people do. Well, see, that's why I wasn't going to church. You wasn't going to church because you wasn't going to church. That ain't why you wasn't going to church. But the reality is we got to realize that people deal with different things. And just because we never dealt with it doesn't mean that our way of dealing with it is the best way for somebody else to deal with it. God made you, right?
It's so true.
God chose you to be a therapist, right?
That is true.
And you walked in your calling, right?
That is true.
So who am I to say that God can't use you to do what I can't pray away? Now, mind you, if I put my prayers with your gift, well, we ought to be powerful.
The more that come together and align, the more powerful the flame. If you see a flame come from here and a flame come from here and flame come from here, I can't say that fastly, but if you bring those all together, right, we get more heat, more intensity, more power. I don't understand why it couldn't be the same.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I felt that heat. Holiday blues. Yeah. Again, I know you can't give therapy over the radio and over the phone and all that, but what would you say to someone right now who might be experiencing some holiday blues as we've just gone through, the Turkey Day, and now we're coming up on the observance of Christmas?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, if you're experiencing additional levels of stress, if you're feeling like you're more tired and fatigued than normal, if you're um, short-tempered a little bit more irritable in mood, these could all be indicators of holiday blues. Also, sometimes called seasonal affective disorder, which, if you use the acronym, is SAD. Right. So I think it's kind of interesting that SAD is the acronym for seasonal affective disorder, right? You just feel sad around the holidays and start somewhat in November. It can last all the way until February for certain individuals. And there's a lot of different reasons, a lot of different triggers that could bring this on. But if that is the case and you're feeling that, number one, I'm going to say again, check those expectations that people are putting on you and making sure that you're not living in this time, this season for somebody else. Two, set boundaries. Know what time you want to spend with folks, how much money you want to spend during the holidays. Set those boundaries because people can lose sight of that and then they've gone to extremes, and that can cause more anxiety or depression because they have exhausted resources such as money, energy, time, all of that, right? So make sure you know what it is that you want to expend and give forth as you're going into the season. Don't figure it out while you're in the middle of it. Stick to your normal routine. We want to eat extra and eat good stuff, and there's always little more things happening during the holidays. But sometimes some of those foods and those excessive meals can really exacerbate some of those symptoms. So try to stick to a normal routine when it comes to eating. Stick to a normal routine when it comes to sleeping, and don't skip out on your exercise and your movement if that is something that's really a part of your normal day-to-day routine. And if it's not, I'm going to urge you to try to get a little more active because we don't have as much sunlight. And that not having that much sunlight definitely does affect us, and it affects some chemistry in our brains. And so we can help that with being more active. And then finally, if you're really suffering, seek support. Any type of support that really will be positive for you, if it's from clergy, if it's from licensed professionals, if it's from a friend or family member, it doesn't matter. But go to somebody who you can really talk to and talk about these issues and what you're experiencing. There's a reason why talk therapy is a whole career. Otherwise, if talking didn't make people feel better, I'd probably be a doctor.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Felicia said that boundaries are good and necessary, but not always accepted by others, unfortunately. It made me think about this. How powerful is the word no?
Ha! Man. It's a whole sentence. My good friend, LaShasta Bell, told me that, like, no is a whole sentence. It has a period at the end. If we can learn to say no without guilt, again, to say this is what I can do and this is what I cannot do. If you can tell somebody, hey, I like ketchup, but no, I don't want mustard on my burger. I don't really like mustard. That no can be powerful in all other places, right? That's a boundary you set. It's a preference you have. And if I could say no about mustard, I need to be able to say no about my time, where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do, who I'm going to be with, what people can expect of me. Here's what I can do. Here's what I can't do. And that's really all we're doing when we say, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Yeah. No, I love it. Hey, thanks for making the time for us today. Again, the Hartwell Clinic, one of our sponsors. I just appreciate you because a lot of folks are winning a lot of money. And at the end of this season, somebody's going to win $500 courtesy of the Hartwell Clinic and the Sports and Wellness Doc. And we appreciate you. Tell everybody where they can find you and follow you on social media if they so desire.
Absolutely. So definitely check us out, the Hartwell Clinic. It is the Hartwell, HARTWELL Clinic on Facebook, on Instagram, and then our website, thehartwellclinic.com. Check us out there. You can go online, make appointments online, figure out who may be the best fit as far as a therapist is concerned, and even schedule your appointment. You can do all of that through our website.
Oh,
so
that's
again,
good.
yeah, the Hartwell Clinic, HARTWELL.com, and then the Hartwell Clinic on Facebook and Instagram.
I love that because I know one of the hardest things for me to do was pick up the phone and call a therapist and say, hey, I need some help, or can I make an appointment? So you can do that online. So again, you're making that even easier for people to take that big step. Again, Janae, thank you for the time today. Have a blessed rest of your weekend, and we'll be talking to you again soon, I'm sure, with, again, the observance of Christmas coming up soon.
Absolutely. My pleasure. And love being here on the lunch break. So thanks, AJ.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Janae Tidwell from the Hartwell Clinic doing her thing right here on the lunch break. We got to get ready to wrap this up. The Texas Longhorns have taken the lead over K-State in the fourth quarter. 3 minutes and 49 seconds left to play. They've got the ball. They're up 22-17. Can they hold on and end this current 6-game losing streak? We'll find out in just a little bit. All right, let me get Sybil Wilkes on here with what you need to know before we go. And let me give you the celebrity birthdays that I promised you in the last hour. Marshall Taylor. A lot of folks don't know who he is. He is an American track cyclist and is the first African-American world champion back in 1899. He was born in 1878, passed in 1932. Remember that name, Marshall Taylor. He was born on today. Jan Stenerud, former kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, was born on this day. And Mario Elie, the pit bull from the Houston Rockets and Clutch City, celebrating a birthday today. All right, as always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I do love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. We'll talk to you on Monday for, oh, my goodness, Monday and your HBCU stroll with the coach, Johnny Cole.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Friday, November 26, 2021. Number 1. Tens of millions of Americans hit the roads over this Thanksgiving holiday, even as gas prices are still on the rise in many parts of the country. On average, gas prices have nearly tripled in the last 12 to 18 months. The national average for a gallon of regular unleaded gas is currently $3.40. This week, President Biden announced the release of 50 million barrels to bring gas prices down. However, the specifics of when and by how much have not been announced. Number 2. Last week, Vice President Kamala Harris was the first Black female president of the United States for about 85 minutes when Joe Biden was under anesthesia for a routine colonoscopy. The transfer of powers is a standing procedure, but it was a landmark moment that set the press abuzz as to who was going to run for the Oval Office in 2024. Well, White House spokeswoman Jen Psaki shut down all the rumors with a very unexpected announcement that Joe Biden plans to run for president again in 2024. This announcement comes among a dip in approval ratings, causing speculation as to who plans to take over in 2024. Number 3, beginning January 22nd, President Joe Biden will require essential non-resident travelers crossing U.S. land borders to be fully vaccinated. This will include individuals such as truck drivers, government and emergency response officials to be vaccinated. A senior administration official said the requirement brings the rules for essential travelers in line with those that took effect earlier this month for leisure travelers when the U.S. reopened its borders to fully vaccinated individuals. Number 4, November is Native American Heritage Month. It's also the month of trauma for Native Americans, as most Americans celebrate Thanksgiving. It's thought of as a time for food and family, but for many Native Americans, Thanksgiving is a reminder of the loss of their lands and their people. According to an interview, CBS reporters asked some Native Americans of a local tribe what they do for Thanksgiving, and they simply replied, they ignore it. Number 5, as the gift-giving time approaches, consider supporting one of the many Black businesses featured in our newsletter over this past year. This week, we feature Black Art in America.
1140 AM, AYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston. Are you ready?
All right, y'all, got to roll. I sincerely hope y'all enjoyed the show today, and I appreciate y'all tuning in to me yesterday. For those of you who did, we'll be back Monday with Oh My Goodness Monday, the HBCU Stroll with Coach Johnny Cole, and more. So not this, definitely this. I do. I love y'all. Y'all take care.